Squirrel's own Mo Salah.
Can you tell us about the new corporate area at the club?
It's a VIP experience, mate. Close to the bar.
Close to the bar.
We're closed.
There he is.
Open to the elements. Great view of the pitch.
CCTV in operation. You can watch it back.
Phillips window.
Phillips window.
Phillips skylight.
Beautiful. Oh, really good, yeah.
It's been an horrific 3 weeks of mishaps, missed opportunities, a forgotten, lost episode with Pate Walters and the first ever dial-up Wi-Fi. But we are back, the three of us, in a room for the first time in what feels like forever. Welcome to the ThighPadPod, the cricketing podcast where three men, one who shaves his chest, one who shaves his back, and one who doesn't need to shave below the neck at all, talk about cricket and other things. And we've got a lot to catch up on this week. We have got a special guest who is in the waiting room. Do we want to invite him in now, or do we want to cover any business prior to letting the man DC in?
Who's going to do the intro? Should we get the formalities sort of? I mean, it's been a long sabbatical, and we're out of practice, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I take it you're doing the questions, Limo, because you've done the questions.
Fine.
You might as well do the intro as well, then.
Is that the way it works? Is it week?
Oh, well, I've not prepped anything.
Is that the way it works usually? That the person that does the intros does the questions?
Well, I can do the questions.
Oh,
no, you did the questions. No, I don't want to do it. I'm not very good at that. It's culture. I'm a cultural vulture. What? Anyway.
You like culture. I think that's what we're saying.
Got 3 books.
That was Butland.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks. Yeah. I liked watching The Masked Singer live.
Don't know what that is.
You do know what it is.
I've heard the TV program.
Yeah, it's a TV program. Yeah.
So they filmed it there?
No, they just did like a live. They just did a stage version of it.
Oh, okay. Who was the Masked Singer?
Can't say, mate. Sworn to secrecy. Just in case anyone watching is going. I'd sign a declaration form on the way out.
So what's the concept of the Masked Singer? That someone sings in a mask and you guess who the singer is?
Yeah, but it's not just a mask. It's like a full outfit.
Okay.
I don't watch it. I've not watched the TV program, but I'm aware of it. Excuse me.
Hang on. You have?
No, I've never not watched it. I've not watched an episode. I'm aware of it, but I don't watch it.
I've watched it with you, I think. Haven't I?
Well, it might have been. It might come on.
It might have been on. Right.
Yeah, it might be on. But yeah. Anyway,
one of yours and Limo's TV nights.
So they had like 4 characters from the show come on and did a bit of singing and dancing. Then actually had 2 new characters come on. They performed, did a song each, and then the audience, like, you get some clues on who it might be, and then there's like a panel of judges and they have to try and guess who it is, and then the audience votes to their like best. Whoever win, they both take their mask off after everyone shouts, "Take it off" for quite a while, and then that's it.
Toby Anstis?
No.
Yeah, sure.
They've got a couple of foam fingers. I'll pull them in if you want. Do you want to see if Masked Singer foam finger?
Yes, please. I don't think you needed to put the. I guess for the big reveal, this is going to be pretty spectacular. I mean, DC's going to have to wait. This is.
Sorry, I forgot. They're in Jude's room to sleep. Sorry.
Excellent.
Next week, then.
We are back. We are back with a bang. Right, we ready to go, Nick?
Yeah, I'm ready to riff. DC will be on the floor in a minute. We've got to get him in. He's like Chris Rea on Celebrity Stars in Their Eyes, and the smoke machine's about to run out. We've got to get him out.
Here he comes. Hey! Oh, he's gone. He's not there. I mean, that's an excellent screensaver. I mean, he'll join us at some point, I would imagine.
That's just him, isn't it? He's just.
Hey!
All right.
Here he is.
Your
Okay.
screensaver was just 3 of you, Steve.
Yeah, just me, and me.
How are you, DC?
I'm not bad. Obviously, I'm just as bad as Wiggy is with this, so I need to turn things up and listen to you.
You
Yeah,
do
All right,
that.
mate.
And
Any idea how to?
I mean,
Phil?
don't ask Phil.
No, don't ask me, no.
what you listen? Are
Wiggy
you
gets
on a
his
laptop?
technical advice from
Yeah.
text message from Dodge. So,
I've got it
you
now.
know.
You got it.
now. I've just been
Lovely.
speaking.
How is he?
Yeah, he's all right. He's got a little plaster on there, hasn't he? Your mum's been hitting with a sauce, apparently.
Yeah. Bit of aggressive stuff going on here.
Does he have any idea that you do a weekly podcast about cricket, Phil?
I mean, do you think he knows what a podcast is?
To a
He'll be nice
podcast.
that to him.
Danny speaks to your dad more than you these days, so, you know.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Yeah.
I see him a lot of the time. We have a beer and talk about stuff. It's all good.
Put the world to rights.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he does. I listen. Perfect.
The thing about this background, Steve, he's taking me back to lockdown. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that sign since Thursday night.
Yeah, they went well, didn't they? I think I was the only one getting up for work in the morning.
I mean, you won about 12 grand over lockdown from those Thursday nights.
I found it quite easy to start off with, I must admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All in.
Yeah. My pension went down a lot in those 18 months, thanks to you bastard.
Everybody had me on direct debit at tenner every week, didn't they? Great.
Yeah.
Always the same.
Felt
Just
good.
set up the old standing order.
To be fair, there was nothing else to pay for, so it didn't hurt too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you have you been on the old San Mig for a couple of hours?
No, I only had one big one, one small one, and then I've just treated myself to a brownie.
oh, lovely. Good mix.
Yeah.
Good mix. I'm going to get a drink.
Tuesday night selection is always fun.
Yeah, I'll get a drink then if you're. Let me get a top of it. Hang on.
What are we drinking?
What you got in your bar then, DC? Got a good selection.
I've got everything, mate.
I
I
bet.
always like to keep them just in case. And
Yeah.
then there comes a time where you kind of think, oh, I love a hooch. There comes a time when you think, oh, I've got to drink them now, or they'll go out of date.
Yeah. Fair enough. Got some hooches in, yeah. What you got, mate?
Orange hooch. Orange hooch.
What happened last week then?
Don't go raising
Last-
the whole
I mean,
graves.
Last week, nothing happened. Last week was fine. Everyone was on holiday except me. So that one was fine. Week before that, though, DC, was an absolute clusterfuck. And it was 90 to 95% my fault. So I forgot to press record. There ends the story.
So who's the 10% down to?
I'm going to say limo for just
What
being too
reminded you?
entertaining for me to remember to press record.
What the bit I'm intrigued about, and we won't go on about it, and I don't have
No,
any
it's good to
blame.
have a review. It's good to have a review.
There's no
People
blame
I need to know.
because you're single-handedly holding this together. But you sent the message on the night after to say, I think the message read, I think it hasn't recorded. But how did you know? What happened?
So I didn't. As you know, I was shattered that night. It was a bad recording anyway because of how tired I was. So I thought as soon as we finish, I thought I'm not going to try and edit it today. I'll let it do its saving thing overnight, and I'll edit it tomorrow night because we recorded on a Monday, so I had an extra day's grace. And then I opened it at I think it's about 9:30 to start editing on the Tuesday, and started looking for it. Couldn't find it anywhere, and I thought something's amiss here. So then I thought, has it not saved the recording because I just left it running and went to bed? And then it was actually you, Limo, that said, I don't remember the message coming up. that usually comes
Yeah.
up saying that recording started, where I realised that, yeah, this was my fuck up. Up until that point, I was absolutely convinced that it was a fuck up of the Windows system, but it was not. So there we go.
I mean, I should have said that probably at the time, ideally.
There were a lot of shoulds. Pate should have dialed in using a modem that he didn't have to pedal to power. Like, we all learnt a lot of things from that lost recording, but it all turns out all right because DC, you are here, and I was looking back at some show notes, and I think you are the most mentioned favourite Squirrels player to date. You've been mentioned no less than 3 times. So I do want to get into that. I don't know how you want to do this. DC, are you on a time limit? Because I know that it's late already. Is there a time that you need to drop off by?
There isn't. My wife's home. She's eating. I'm free.
Wonderful. In which case, shall we start with a review of the game?
Game review.
First thing I'm going to say is, as a, I didn't realise, because I don't really know much about rugby until mid sort of after the game, actually, when I was looking at the website, how important all of those people are for the Saints. My God.
You say that, mate.
It's unbelievable.
When we first played them, obviously they got contact through me, and they looked like, can we have a game, this? Well, yeah, that's great. And we was there, we having the barbecue, and some bloke come up and went, I think we're about antisocial, we're better talk to each other. And it's Dawson, the head honcho, the director of rugby. And obviously Sam Vest is the number 2 in charge or whatever. And I'd had a season ticket for 6 years and still didn't have a clue who they were. But yeah,
Unbelievable.
So how did it come about? How has this celebrity game come about?
Basically through the Chiefs. They played a game against the Chiefs, and Siv just said they ain't a bad bunch of lads, and he just messaged me and we were on.
Nice.
Yeah, just finding
Brilliant.
the scorebook myself.
The first thing I noticed was because I forgot, I never really know who we were playing, and I pulled in the car park, and the first guy I saw was absolutely massive. And then I noticed all the merchandise was really nice, wasn't it? And I know we'll get to the badge later. There's been a bit of stick about the rebrand, but the kit was lovely. It's not often we're outshone on merch, but they looked the part, didn't they?
Good side.
Bit of content for the pod. Saints head coach, I understand.
Head coach, yeah.
Sam Vesti. How do you think the game went today, Sam?
Yeah, wet. I thought it was good fun. It was good fun. Like, we turned up with. We didn't think we had some. We didn't have a lot of cricketers compared to in the past. One of our guys, Rob, was very new to the sport, and an Irish guy who played hurling is now part of our physio department. And turns out he can whack a cricket ball.
Jesus Christ. He found the sweet spot.
He middled it, didn't he?
Yeah.
What genuinely in the nets before, he was trying to work out whether he was left-handed or right-handed. Honestly.
We've got a few players the same, actually.
He did. Yeah, maybe. He didn't know what to do with the box. all the funny cricket stuff. But yeah, he whacked it, didn't he? So it was all good. And then, I mean, you guys, we managed to skittle you out a bit quick, really. We didn't expect to. So we played a funny game where you could just roll back in and just finish the 20 over. So we're taking the moral victory.
Yeah, I think you were pretty generous tonight, Sam.
Yeah, possibly. And but ultimately, we didn't quite get over the line in the 20 over game, did we?
Well, and thoughts on the badge? It's getting some good reviews in the press, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes. Yep. I'll leave it at that. I think if we're talking about badge, actually doesn't look too bad on the kit. I would.
No, it's nice.
I actually think it actually looks alright. I like the way you see on.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Thoughts for the season?
Thoughts
for
for the season
for the Mighty Saints.
Yeah, I think exciting, isn't it? We've got a good group. Obviously, we've had a bit of change in some sort of pretty. In the forwards, there's been quite a few bit of change, but we've got a good, steady back line who know what they're going to, have been there and know what they're going to do. There's plenty of space for people to really come through in that forwards group, and I think they will. So I'm excited, really excited about this year.
Brilliant. And final big question: did you prefer the burger or the sausage tonight on the barbecue?
Oh, that's.
And what
a
sauce
shout.
did you have?
Oh, do you know what? I mixed it up. I went American mustard and barbecue with the burger, which is unusual, I think.
I did the same, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
And then I changed up and went American mustard and tomato ketchup with the sausage.
Excellent.
all washed down with a couple of beers, which is a great way to play cricket.
All the best for the season,
Yeah,
Sam.
thank you.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Thanks a
mate.
lot.
Ta-da.
Thanks a lot.
Obviously, it's all new, isn't it? And it's all I've got the new badge and everything, and they've literally just got it, and they look the nuts.
Yeah.
They look the nuts.
Yeah, it's lush. Really good. And lovely lads. I mean, they had a couple of ladies there. One who, I mean, she spent 2 hours scoring, sat next to Magsy. So anyone who can get through that is a bloody saint for a start, I think. Yeah.
Even colouring pens, didn't she?
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, she said, I haven't done this for a while. Then all of a sudden, she was like Edward Scissorhands, just everything going like that. I was like, that's impressive. That's impressive.
And she's never been so polite on a Thursday night than he was last Thursday, trying to impress the head of sports science at Northampton Saints.
I don't know.
Um,
Maybe we need to get one. Maybe that's what we're missing, squirrels.
Yeah.
We need a sports science first. Just push us on to the next level.
I mean, I thought that
It-
was
it
Kerr.
look-
He
Yeah,
was
could be,
he was
really.
kind of the sports scientist when you got your horrific injury, DC. He was talking through all sorts,
yes.
weren't he?
Yeah, and I've got to be honest, you don't need things like that. Like he's obviously gone to the NHS site. Is it bleeding? Yes. Have you got a headache? Well, I'm bound to have. I've just been hit with a cricket. You should go to hospital now. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. I'm like, let's see if it stops a little bit. Like, let's give it a minute. And it's just, he puts everything in your head, don't it? Like when somebody tells you, even if you're not listening, you're subconsciously, it's there in the background, like just nagging away. And I woke up in the morning to go to work, and I was like, it's all right. And then I just flicked it a little bit, and there was blood again. I thought, Kerr said, I've got to go to the hospital to bleed. So I had a day off and went to the hospital for 35 minutes, I think it was.
And all that because of our own sports scientist, Nicholas Kerr. So I mean, he's earned the position, really.
Yeah.
So looking at some of the clips, one thing I did notice is although their swag off the pitch may have been top notch, it did appear that the bowlers that I saw were not wearing anything close to cricketing attire. Was that the same for all players from the Saints?
Yeah, they just had their green shorts on, their green like top, and maybe a 3/4 zip. There was one Northern lad from Hull. He didn't know what day it was, so he just turned up in a grey top. He was happy just to be there. And that was the lad who, his first over was like atrocious, and you just go, I didn't give a why because I thought like it's going to get dark tonight. But then
Cluesy wasn't happy about that, Steve. I'll tell you that. Cluesy wasn't happy about that level of umpiring. Surprisingly.
I suppose I got it wrong when he got bowled as well, didn't I?
He's usually such a ray of light as well, so he really must have been pissed off about something.
He was on a different pitch. I just thought, come on, let's get on with this. Which I proved because he got dark in the second innings.
I think the kit, their biggest challenge on the kit, I thought, was a lack of spikes. because it was pretty greasy, wasn't it? And they all had just like running shoes on, or running shoes, just normal trainers. And there was a moment where the ball went over to those few houses on the far boundary, and the guy was running so fast to get it, he slipped and almost went through the front door on his arse. It was pretty mad.
There's a broken foot over there already, and I'm pretty certain there's two now because he was that was the big northern lad. Nothing was stopping him.
What? So, from one of the, I'm going to say, incredibly professional interviews that you did, Limo, I kind of got the idea that we were skittled out pretty easily, and then we just kept going back in. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it was a bit weird because we got, what were we? Let's have a look here. We were bloody hell.
Yeah, but before that,
Oh,
let's give the full story, because I think when you turn around and go like we were skittered out and did that,
Yeah.
he came up to me before and he said, "We've got a bit of a weak side." He said, "Do you mind if we bat? No, bowl first, then we'll bat second, just to make a game, just so we get some overs in." And I was like, "Well, we normally bat second so we can sort the food out." Like, kind of. He said, "We've got a real poor side. We've probably got 3 or 4 that can play." So we changed it around, and obviously then we changed our side around. Like the batting order was a bit different to what we normally have, shall we say? So that's where the collapse come from, I think.
Okay.
And also, they're all really good at bowling.
yeah, I mean, Louis went in first ball out, and then Fozzie fifth ball out.
Excellent bowl
sixth,
as well.
Seventh ball, yeah. And I mean, I was looking on the right hand side. This kind of sums up the scoreboard. We after 17 overs, we were 92 for 11, and that's a score you don't usually see on a Thursday night, is it? We went from 86 for 9 to 92 for 11.
Like it.
But we kept rotating, didn't we? We did, like, all of us, and like when 11 went down, we thought, well, those that can bat a little bit better will go in next. We let Louis have another shot, which of course he missed, and then we kept going like that, which is fine, isn't it? That's social cricket.
Yeah.
It's a callback to a previous episode, and the jargon buster. Louis got 2 first ball ducks in the same game. And there was a lot of chat of why isn't Wiggy here to explain this one?
I mean, well, I can't even get a golden duck right, so I don't no idea, no chance in whatever that. Wow.
We just kept going, didn't we? We
Yeah.
just kept going and finished 121 for 11. We were just thinking, well, we've got to get to 100 first off. And then when we realised we could just keep going, we got to 121. I think we had 3 notable innings. Mousy 18.
Nice.
Or was that? No, is that 10? That might be 10. No, hang on. We had 2 notable innings because I can't read. We had Mr. Kerr, who got 19, and Pook's 24 not out.
Oh, lovely.
And apart from that, it was all a bit shady, really. But we got to 121. But then I think we realised the rain was coming down, and they were definitely bowling. Oh, sorry, we were definitely out in the field for 20 overs, which is a bit of a low point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was gloomy. It was a nod to Graham Thorpe's battling in Karachi, RIP. I would say the conditions, it was extremely gloomy. And yeah, I opened up the bowling and they put the big Irish fella in who someone said, yeah, he's pretty good at hurling. He's got good hand-eye. And luckily there was no one playing bowls that night because they'd have been dead.
Really?
He basically, the sound off the bat of one of those shots, and it was like a baseball player, wasn't
But it was holding it like I only remember when I played hockey at school years ago. Like, he was holding like that. He wasn't, I don't know, because he was that tall, he couldn't bother to lean to the bottom. But he just held there and he was like, bang, and he just went.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How many did you go
Brilliant.
with, mate? Went at 10, 18, 22, 26 over 2 overs.
Yeah. I mean,
It did hang around.
and I bowled all right, but I was against bloody Johnny Hurling, you know. So he was great. But then, yeah, we sort of pinned them down, didn't we, after him? I mean, yeah, they had some good scores, but they never really got going, did they?
No. And obviously, we got to a point where we realised Sam Vest was number 11 and we know he can bat. So we also knew we was not going to get 9 wickets down. We just stuck at 8 and bowled wide.
He played for Leicester, didn't he? Was he like a Leicester seconds player or something?
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, and he plays good standard cricket here for. I think it's the Saints or Owens. He plays good cricket here, standard here, and we know he can hit the ball. His lads was up there the week before, and he hit it over the trees a couple of times. And wow, under 17s.
Jesus.
Yeah. So then Christ they didn't get in. And we won. We kept them to what, 114? So we won by 7. It was unbelievable. Probably helped by the fact with the last 3 overs were in pitch black, but you know.
Was it a celebratory mood, or were you just happy to get it done?
Well, they'd started at the barbecue, so I reckon everybody had just had enough of cricket. So yeah, we'll say happy with the win.
Yeah.
Even a moral victory, we were happy with the win.
Yeah.
Did they manage to get the barbecue fired up easier than we did?
Wouldn't be hard, would it? Wouldn't be hard. Yeah.
Even in pitch black and sheeting rain, they were basically the equivalent of Crocodile Dundee, like firing up a barbecue. They just did it. It was a funny one because I think because one, they're really good lads, and two, they'd let us get to a score. It didn't really feel like a proper game, did it? In a way, it was just a bit of a mess.
Very
about,
social.
which was fine. Yeah, very social. Very social. Yeah.
Anything else notable from the game before we move on to the man of the match questions?
Jeff was miserable. What else? Trying to think.
We realised why fines was stopped for a year. Somebody dared to question somebody, and there you went. There was a couple of eyes around the so-called hierarchy. Like, I think we did the right thing. I think we did the right thing, and I think we have. The club must be doing all right, must they? We haven't played every game, so there's still money in there.
Yeah, they were good fun. We had a good few chats about Radders, the whole guy who Pooks' words were he changed the fortune of the Saints. I tried to look interested. I couldn't really give a fuck, but I think I showed general interest. And as soon as I saw Radders, I gave him a bloody good pat on the back. Said, "I hear you're the man," and that was it. Really,
love that.
It's a massive old boy, like proper unit. And Lou was there, and he was from Hull as well. He said he's from the roughest part of Hull you could ever find.
So that's the other notable part. Actually, there was I think the sports nutritionist Grace was from Hull, and for about 10 minutes, she was just telling us a story of how she can't stay away from a quick fit on the outskirts of Hull because she keeps the same tyre keeps having a slow puncture. So she keeps driving back up to Hull to get it changed. I'm not sure she knows quick fits are sort of nationwide.
Grace, welcome to the ThighPad podcast.
Hi.
You're going to give us a lowdown on the new branding.
From my limited knowledge that I've picked from everyone around the club already, it's simpler to identify than the town council badge, and it's their own identity. So instead of being associated with the council, it's supposedly being more identifiable. It's Saints Club identity through and through, instead of just being a part of the council, and easier to draw, or easier to locate, easier to just kind of identify themselves as their own club.
Brilliant.
Again, that's from my limited knowledge.
You're not a local, are you, with that accent?
I'm a Yorkshire lass.
Yorkshire. Most gold medals in Olympics this year, Yorkshire.
Yeah, I'm not tooting the horn there, but again, riders and I can say that we've come down and we've experienced it, we're learning what we can do, so that's what I've picked up.
That's great. Thanks very much. Thanks, Grace. Good luck. Have a good game.
Outfit. But I think she might have been going out with Radders, so I didn't want to question anything.
Blimey.
Yeah, and probably the only barbecue so far this season where there wasn't an abundance of food left. because
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
well,
Ferg had just
God own you.
yeah.
He's
It's gone.
on the telly all the time, like the coach who speaks and it goes like pitch side, and he's like that. He did want to run, obviously, and then he wanted to eat. I thought, yeah, coach material, isn't it?
Don't we all? Wiggy, having seen you around people that have some level or modicum of fame, do you feel that if you played in this game, you would have been your starstruck, quiet self, or do you think you would have eased into it?
I think I'd have been all right. I've played in the last couple of years. I'd have been all right, these guys.
Yeah.
But, you know, I see myself in quite a few of them, really. So I can relate.
Don't like running, like eating. So
Yeah, something like that.
salad.
But no, I think
Big
I'd have been
salad
all right.
fans.
I'd have been all right. But yeah, I was gutted to. Yeah, it's a shame to miss it because obviously it's always a eventful game. But hopefully next year we'll get another fixture. Yes.
I got a
Yeah,
very
they can-
heartfelt message from Chappie cutting me. I think it's the first time I've actually been cut this season. Well, it's certainly the first message I got. So that was a nice touch.
I wonder who told him to do that. I was like, you're definitely playing next week. We'll have to win it, but it's better to hear it than just like on that announcement where you go, well, so it's like you know, you're not in.
No, I mean, it's
There
very
wasn't-
sweet for future reference.
Don't bother.
It's not needed.
Hang on, I'll just write there. Axis.
I quite like looking down the list to see if I've made it or not. Made the cut.
He's only got 53 texts on his contract. Don't tell him that.
Lovely. Okay, let's get into the real meat of this interview, DC.
Man of the match questions.
So, as you'll know, as an avid watcher and critic of length of introduction and outro music on this podcast, every week when we have a guest on, you get an introduction. And this week, Nicholas Harding has the honours of doing your introduction. So over to you, Nick.
Daniel Carter, the only man so far this series. We've deviated from the Monday night edition of the podcast, which shows your importance, frankly. The only man I could get away wearing a visor to a cricketing-based podcast. The hero of Great Yarmouth, the man who's single-handedly funding the Dustin nose plastic surgeon industry. The man who lives on the busiest street in Dustin, with the Midlands' densest population of voice scooters in the lay-by opposite, and a man who, during lockdown, with that very background, consumed the most bottles of Smirnoff Ice on a Thursday evening I've ever seen. Danny, welcome to the pod, son.
Good health. Thank you.
We have some questions for you that I also believe Limo is going to take us through.
Oh, I thought it was Wiki.
Or Wiggy. One of the two of them are going to take us through. I'm guessing Wiggy is using his phone to dial in, so he won't be able to see the questions.
Got me to do it, Phil.
Yeah,
Go for it. No, go on.
No, because I haven't got it. Hold on a sec.
Good to be back. You're listening to the ThighPad podcast with Limo, Wiggy, Mo, and DC.
Bear with.
I did get these questions 23 seconds ago, so I thought you'd done really well with your notice. Yeah, we'll get some questions to you. Just wondered if it was going to be before or after. Thank you.
Okay, question number 1. What was your first game of cricket?
First game of cricket, St Crispin's Cricket Club. I used to be a domestic at the mental health unit, which I'll be honest with, some of the best days of my life. You'll never meet a better bunch of people, even if they were off their rocker. Honestly, it was great working there them times. And I used to work in PRU, what's our clubhouse now. So
What's the PRU stand for, Steve? What do you know? What is it?
I can't remember. But it's
Something
like where the physical, to get back.
Rehabilitation unit or something.
Yeah. But I
I
can't
think
remember.
it's a physical rehab unit. It's where they used to do like PE and that stuff.
That's why there's that hole in the roof, because they have something dropping down and whatever.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant.
But that's where I used to work. And then one day there was a knock on the door, and Spenny Harrison, he was like, "Dan, do you want to play cricket?" And do you know when you go, "Oh, yeah, why not?" Even though I was working, but there was nobody coming around in them days. And that's when I first played. Fine leg to fine leg, 20 overs. Didn't bat. Didn't look like batting, to be fair. And that was my introduction into cricket. And,
What? So, how old were you?
14.
Okay.
14. Yeah, just used to did domestic, but it was more like just looking around and making sure everything was safe, I think. There wasn't a lot of cleaning going on, but, you got paid at the end of the week, which must have been about...
So they employed a 14-year-old at a mental hospital?
Yeah, it was absolutely mental. Yeah. But I think you're just allowed to in them days. Like, it didn't matter. Like,
in time.
There were some wards up there which were... I went in 2 or 3 times, and they were like... Just like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. When you see people lobbing things constantly, that was it. And I didn't go in them very often, thank God.
Wow.
So that's how I started playing cricket, which is bizarre when you think about it.
Yeah. Bloody hell! We're finding out so much about people on this pod. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Obviously, you're a very good cricketer. So, did it just come naturally from you starting? Did it just kind of make sense?
For a good number of years when I was younger, I just did nothing.
Yeah.
I'd bat every now and again and bowl, but it's kind of, there was no natural talent there, and I never had any coaching. But one day it just clicked, and now there's no natural ability there. I just do all right sometimes.
It's unbelievable.
But I'm going to go back to Dodge and Mick. I started playing cricket for Crispins then, on a Saturday, and basically it was Mick and Dodge for 20 overs, and they'd get 30 runs, and then they go, "Go on, lads, crack on!" Like they'd done something really well, and we'd get 80 or 90 off of 40 overs, and that kind of that steered my mind thought, is thinking I'm never going to be captain or do anything in my life where I'm going to make somebody watch that. I think it's okay, or think it's that's what you should be doing. Because we watched it for years, and how much I love the old boy. Like Mick Reeve, they're legends of the club. But at some time, as soon as I got in charge, I'm like, well, no, we're not doing that. We're just hitting the ball. Everybody's getting the game. It doesn't matter if you're great or good. We can mix things up.
Absolute Steve Ball. You've come in.
Yeah, I was going to say Dodge. I was going to say that's why dodgeball never caught on. Dodgeball never caught on. Dodgeball never caught on.
Did you watch them days or not?
Briefly. Obviously, I would have been very young back then. But I think so. Yeah, I remember him obviously playing. I'm going to watch him every weekend. It'd be my Saturdays and Sundays would just be going to whatever ground he was playing at, wherever it is, and spending all day at cricket. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, obviously they're not probably one of the most athletic of types, were they? So it was either ball was either going for 4 or they're running a single. So you're never scoring too many runs with that. But yeah, probably
even Sunday cricket, we used to play Sunday cricket as well. Them two were still open. It was like a double bubble. You're like, what are you doing this week? I'm going to watch Mick and Dodge get 40 runs in 40 overs maybe, and then go back to school. Yeah.
I remember the days I remember like winning when you had winning and losing draws, and it was just rubbish, wasn't it? What a waste of time.
I think is that not still around for a couple of leagues now? Is it? Or has that gone completely?
I think it's still just win or lose. So
Yeah.
I think you can draw in. I think you can draw in the top couple of leagues.
I think so, up to the first half of the season, and after so far, it's like
is it?
basically it's win or lose.
Yeah.
How dreadful!
I mean, yeah. That's a mad ball for 40 hours a game. Yeah, 45 hours a game. To be able to draw is just madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Question 2. Favorite ever game of cricket you played?
So I thought about this long and hard for 10 seconds. My memory is dreadful. Even though I've just said about your dad and Mick, it's absolutely dreadful. I remember nothing about years and years ago. I get told by Pete and obviously Mags, or like whoever, what we've done or how we won. I remember we won the league one time for Crispin's seconds, I think it was. And we went back to Crispin's club and sung "We Are the Champions" on the karaoke, but they didn't have the music. So it was just like 6 or 7 old boys, a couple of younger lads, just killing it, absolutely killing it. But that's I didn't even write that down. That just come to me then. So maybe what I'm going for is maybe the first time I got turned. Obviously, that makes you feel good. Something I never thought I did because it wasn't so long ago. It just clicked and it kind of worked. And then obviously I played with Emmy when she was playing cricket. Only one game, but it's nice when we turned up in our whites together.
Yeah.
We got 63 runs between us. We got 7 wickets between us.
Oh, I love that.
And very happy. It does make you smile.
Great.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not saying your kids are everything, but they are everything. All of a sudden, like you're standing there. Obviously, she's a bit of a tomboy. She's played cricket for a while. I wouldn't say she was a world beater, but nor was her dad. But it was just nice to be together, shall we say.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Oh, where was that, Steve? Where did you play?
It was somewhere like, it was Leicestershire. It was a real shit place to get to because we couldn't get, it must have been the end of September because we couldn't get a ground anywhere. So we had to go there. There was a railway track. We played with 10 for about 2 hours. And I was thinking, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Like, it's when I just used to help out. Like, I'd go up there on a Friday and I go, I'll be sure. I'm like, I'm doing nothing tomorrow. So, like, I'll come over, like, you know, just help the club out. Yeah. But yeah, I said, yes, I'll play. And then he went, yeah, Leicester. And can you bring Emmy? It's like, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. That's my day gone.
Well, that's lovely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
A bit of bird somewhere. Love it.
Yeah. So when was it you got your first 10 then?
I think it was 2018. So not long ago when you think about it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I got a few near it, like 80s. I never got to the 90s. I just thought it never. I just thought it never going to happen.
But you've made up for lost time since then, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got
a big one a couple of years ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was there watching that game. It was I actually felt sorry for the bowlers and fielders after a while.
Yeah, but that's cricket. They don't feel sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's great for you.
If we're 4 or 6, do they?
You got 3 now, Steve.
I've
3
got 4
tons.
now, yeah.
Oh.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
That's lush.
It felt good.
Also, you're an all-rounder, so you can do a bit of bowling as well. You've taken the pace off over the last couple of years, but still straight as an arrow. What's your best bowling display in a game? Can you remember, or does it all blend into one?
I know it's 7 for 23. I don't know where. I don't know when. But yeah, I've got a few 5-ers as well, 6-ers. Because nobody likes bowling straight. We all know, don't we? You get a straight ball, you're in trouble most of the time. It doesn't matter. Like, depends on what sort of the game you're going in. Somebody's got to chase you, and then all of a sudden they just miss a straight one. And I think at times the left arm over does mean
yeah,
it's different. I got the big fella out on Thursday because he was just hitting everything there. So I said, well, I'll come on and just give it a different angle. And then obviously he was like, he couldn't understand why I was bowling from that side of the pitch. So I'm confused already.
I'll be honest, Steve, I wish she'd have said before I bowled, he probably needs a different angle.
It was a pleasure to watch, though. Absolute pleasure.
Favourite ever cricketer?
I've got a few, but we're going to go for Freddie first. No, you could, Freddie first. I just got brought up in the era, like when I first started to go and watch Test cricket. I didn't have a cricket education as a kid. Like my parents never took me anywhere. So my first Ashes game was Trent Bridge when Andrew Strauss took that diving catch to the left.
Wow!
It was one hell of a catch. And like since then, like Freddie, he was indifferent, wasn't he? He was brilliant. Like he obviously had his problems, but you know he came over them and he was unbelievable. Like that was it 2005 Ashes, well, like basically won Edgbaston himself or another game on himself.
Yeah.
I don't think we can argue about how good he was. Like in our lifetime, if you're watching cricket, then you literally thought, well, he's the bloke. Loved watching KP just because he didn't care, did he? I think his attitude was great at times, but also you don't pay your money to go and watch somebody's attitude, do you? You pay him to hit the ball well and entertain you. And without a doubt, he was there. And also, I know they're the enemy, but Shane Warne, just it was just wonderful. Well, he was so different to everything else that we had. Obviously, England had never had a spinner like that, have they? Like the best one I've seen, English one, was Graham Swan, and like he was half as good as Warney. And you turn around and you think, at least I got to see him a few times. At least I got a few to see him, and I'm absolutely gutted. I love to take a picture with a famous person. I'm Mr. Selfie Man. But at Headingley, we'd won at, say, 2:00. And instead of going out we just sat in the ground for a bit because obviously the beers are still there. It's we're still drinking, so we're still happy. And he walked past and we all shouted at him. There was 4 of us in the stand where we were. And he strode like that. And somebody went to get a picture with him from the other stand. And I never moved. And I fucking hate that now because you just think, it was only about 20 rows away, and I could have gone down, got a picture, it'd have been fine. I'd have been happier. But I didn't bother. I didn't bother. So that's why I get a picture with everybody now. So they're up there.
I think that's some good choices. To be fair, very good choices.
Yeah. There's plenty of other things, aren't they? But I just didn't get to see. Like
they're game changers, aren't they? As well, those three. They did literally probably change the game. Doing it in their own style. I think with Warren as well, like you always got the feeling that he was just in control completely. Yeah. You know, whatever he wanted to do, if he wanted to get someone out at a certain time, he could just do it. And if he wanted to put a ball anywhere, that's what I felt when I used to watch him. Just he was in complete control of what he was doing. And to be a spinner and do that is just it's just unbelievable. But when
you listen to the documentary afterwards, and like obviously when he was still alive, he said, "I knew how to get him. Like I knew I was going to talk to him, or I knew I was going to warm up this ball." And then like he could spin it either way, couldn't he, or just go straight. These are 60 miles an hour. Too good for us, boys.
Yeah, he loved it, didn't he? And that you talk about Flintoff, that over keeps popping up because it was like 19 years ago, this or last week, I think, the Edgbaston test, that over he bowls to Ponting, like kept it's unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Two overs, like they just trying to put it into one. But
Yeah.
he just batted, didn't he? And Ponting was one of the best batsmen in the world.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Sticking on the theme of favourite cricketers, but this time favourite AC Squirrels cricketer.
Should I say, oh, I love you all?
Yeah.
That seems to be the common thing, doesn't it? I've got a couple. I love watching Pete bat. I love watching Kerms bat and bowl sometimes. They're just talented cricketers, aren't they? Like they've got a bit of ability, and I think at times it's not all about that. I like it when we have clubmen go in and realise like we're not going to win it if I'm here, or I'll play this shot, I'll try and get some runs. So I've got a couple. I think Louis does it for the team, as we know this week. He opened up 2 innings, 2 balls. Wasn't disappointed in himself. Just kind of said, "Well, we'll crack on, and like somebody else might be able to hit a run." I also think Mo does it. I think Mo's. I batted with him the other week, and bat on ball, but you just couldn't get off the. You couldn't get a run, and like at times, like it's hard because we've all been there. Like when you think you're just digging a hole, and I think you had 10 balls, which might be a record, but then you kind of realise they bowled a straight one, and I just felt like you thought my time here is done. So you got out and somebody else come in, because there's nothing worse, and this includes me, when you dig yourself a hole.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get out of it and see where we go. And also Dave House, I love that as well. He like when he was wicketkeeper that few times and got axed, there was nearly tears. He spoke to me about 3 or 4 games later. I was in the slips and he was keeping. And he went, I just don't understand why I got axed. I said, well, you wasn't axed. You were just filling in for somebody. Like somebody, yeah, but I thought was doing really well. I said, you did, but we've got a wicketkeeper that maybe can catch the ball a little bit more than you.
You won't like
that. Maybe we have. Maybe we have or haven't. I'm not sure. But it's same as you, Mo. Like when you first turned up, you couldn't bowl a ball or ball a ball, as you say. And now all of a sudden, when you come on, like everybody doesn't. I don't know how to word this. Doesn't think the worst. And then all of a sudden, like you come on, you bowl there or thereabouts, don't you?
Yeah.
So, like from where you've gone to where you are now, is unbelievable. And I do stand by the words I said over Embingham. 3 wickets for 20, I think. You might as well pack up and fuck off now, because it doesn't get any better. I don't believe it has yet.
Nope.
Match winning overs, maybe. Yeah. So that's where I am. I think we're a team that kind of know where we are. Everybody, we've got good cricketers, and Nick, and like we kind of know where we are, and like it needs people to turn up and sometimes think it's not my day. I'll try again another time.
Is there such a thing as the most self-aware team in social cricket? So I think maybe we're there. Maybe that's what we hit in the top of the charts in.
You enjoy a journey on the old scooter? The old is it Voy? Is that how you pronounce it? Voy?
Yeah.
Voy?
Voy, yeah.
Voy. Any memorable scooter journeys that spring to mind?
I've got two. It was the Crispin's end of season do, and obviously it was the Saints was on, so I'd been drinking from we'll say 11 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock I had to be up there. Daz Byron was in the crowd. He said, "Do you want a lift?" I was like, "Where's the car?" He said, "In the car park." I was like, "I'm probably quicker getting the view." So it was one of those days where they give you some flags as well. So I went outside, no taxis about. My mate was there, like with the old scooter. I was like, "Yeah, brilliant." and I drove up the road, the Weedon Road, on the road because I didn't want to get on the pavement because you're not allowed to do it. I've had a couple of beers, and I've got my suit on and my Saints flag. I should have got that down really. And I just drove up there, and it was like I see Nutty. Nutty was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, I didn't even have a beep. I did beep beep, and everybody just walking around laughing at me, and I'm thinking, if the police come now, I could be in trouble. May be in trouble. But no, I went from the Saints to Crispin's and beat Daz. He left 30 minutes before me. I beat him 20 minutes before he got there. And I thought he'd went home. You know, when you turn up and you go, "Oh, Daz, I thought you're getting changed." He went, "No, we're queuing to get out of the car park." I was like, "That's madness. That's like, you've come up on a bloody view." But no, you got to enjoy your journeys, haven't you? Your journey in life. And that was a tough one.
Are you quite confident on them now?
Yeah, I've only fell off once, but I've got to admit, I think that was my fault. We had a under-19s finals day up there at Crispin's, and I wasn't clever, and I decided to get one home, and no lights were working, and I turned left on Berrywood Road, and I missed the dip in the pavement by when I got up about 20 yards. Obviously, I got up, made sure nobody see me, and realised that hurt. Lucky I didn't miss the all this. And I got home. I said, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right." Ruined me top or whatever. But yeah, they're the two journeys I remember. I do like a good. Yeah, I've got a satchel like that. I do like a visit to the cricket. It's £2.20, and it saves me like.
That's great.
For my life, so I feel like it's value for money.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one always parked near your house?
With neighbour number 6, he gets one home from Kingsthorpe.
Bloody hell!
Yeah, so normally, like, there's one just out the front.
Okay.
At times, like I'm not saying our street, our close is like a car park, but there are plenty of cars in our street, and at times there are 2 or 3 views, and there's only 14 houses here. I have no idea like how they get here.
Well, it's funny, Steve. When Magsy's he got a house valuation the other day. He said, "Check it out on Zoopla." So I put his postcode in, and that's that's what came up. Pretty mad.
I've got a parking bay here now.
So, as you just mentioned there, my fellow cricketer Stuart McDermott is a not a direct neighbour, but a very close ish neighbour. Would you ever a question here? Would you ever consider buying a house in the middle to be closer to him?
So he lives at 2, I live at 4. So there's one between us. Living next to Mags is great. His kids are brilliant. Like, I love it when they're out in the street playing football. I hear them. I go out and they're like, "Steve, you want to play football?" I'm like, "Yeah." And that does. It makes you smile because they know who you are. They want to do it. I also like it at times. We do share a lift to cricket and back, and I get the full run down normally from how well Stuart's done. He may be modest, very modest, but at times, like he does big himself up on the way home. Yeah, so it's really nice to live next to him. I love playing kids like football with the lads in the street. They too can now hit the ball 50 yards aimlessly at nobody and blame it on somebody else. But no, I wouldn't buy number 3 just because we've got the Nashies there who have been there for a long time. Lovely family. Mags loves them even more because Ryan once played one game for the Cobblers. So he's, so obviously he's best mates. But no, it's not. To be fair, it's great there. And in lockdown, he brought me a pizza.
Oh, lovely.
Did he? Oh, well, lovely.
Cooked it. Actually, I might have gone in the garden to have a look to see how it worked. But yeah, no, I went in the garden, had a pizza, brought it home.
Do you ever see, because Clusey hasn't played much this season, do you ever get back on a Thursday night and see sort of clumsy, sheepishly just getting on a voy outside of Mags's house, leaving.
Yeah, of course, top shagger. Why wouldn't you? If you got that ability, yeah, you just use it, wouldn't you?
Obviously, you do a lot behind the scenes, DC. Obviously, you in terms of with the ground and organising stuff. How do you feel that sort of that all came about, and are you happy with sort of your role within the club and how much goes on?
I tell you what, there's a lot going on.
Sure.
It's been a long season already. November, we started with the merger, and we're still playing now. But I love playing for the Squirrels, and like if I can make our season any better and any easier for everybody else, then I do try. It does get on top of you sometimes because obviously I get it from the barbecues clean from the Squirrels lot, and then I get it from the Crispins and Halston lot. And like at the end, I don't know if I'll put it on the group or might just put it on the top group. I said I just couldn't give a fuck. Like just clean it best you can. And like no, like, as long as you do that best you can clean it. Then I'm happy with it. It might not be perfect, but it might be pitch black. You might have no choice. So that's that. But like you say, I've got an affiliation with both. I'm helping out a bit with Crispins and Halston at the minute, and I'll continue doing as much as I can as long as everybody's happy.
I mean, when you got a VP like Pooks, I'd imagine it doesn't feel like you're doing any work at all.
No, obviously, like he's really busy in that back garden, sunbathing. But what I say to about the club, I realise it's far from a one-man band. Obviously, a lot of people do a lot of stuff, but like on a Thursday night, you see like just clearing up or doing the dishes in this or doing the bar for the bit or doing something else. Like I do notice at times I don't do a lot afterwards on Thursday, but everything before is I've done a little bit. But I do sit there and watch or get up and see like somebody washing up, somebody restocking, somebody doing the barbecue. I do realise it's a club effort, and that's what makes us.
I think we're good at that. We're all sensible people. I think we're all aware also about how lucky we are to have that ground out as well. So we want to keep it if possible.
Where would we play if we didn't have some Crispins and Halston?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, like, but we're lucky to have that place.
Yeah,
everybody loves playing us there, don't they?
Yeah,
it's great
quality, absolute quality.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I've a quick bonus question.
Sorry, mate.
DC. Obviously, one of your many side hustles is breakfast restaurant aficionado / reviewer. What's the best Northamptonshire breakfast at the moment?
At the moment, and I do like Breakfast Club. Was it Granny's in Weedon? What's it called? Is it called Granny's? I think it's Granny's.
I think it is Granny's.
Yeah, you have to book to get in.
Wow.
So I went there with the lads, and I said to Gillian how good it was, and we went to Milton Keynes. I was like, let's nip in there. But I made her ring up just beforehand. I didn't matter. I asked her to ring up just beforehand. She rung up, and if we didn't phone up, there was a 45-minute wait. Yeah, proper sausages.
I mean, that looks good. That looks really good. I'm looking at it now. 4 to 6 Church Street, if you want to head down there, and then 4 p.m.
Weedon, yeah. Oh, look at this. Let me hang on.
Any vegan options?
It's always busy.
No, of course not.
Wow.
The Weedon bomb.
Special.
The Weedon bomb.
Is there a vegan option for you?
Beans on toast. That'll have to do me. The Weedon veggie, 2 veggie sausages, 1 egg. Just cut the egg out with there. Look at that.
That's from Granny's TripAdvisor. Square plate.
We didn't eat that. We had the one below, and that was filling as anything.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I have seen people while I'm there.
Look at the hash brown stacked like on this side.
I know, yeah.
That's such a class, isn't it? The colour of the yolk.
I mean,
Wow.
You could build
would
a
like
house on the foundation of those hash browns.
Yeah, I would like the hash browns underneath my beans just to let them soak in a little bit. But they're
Yeah,
all different.
soak it all up. Yeah, I mean, it's not your first rodeo, is it?
Not today, mate.
Lovely.
Excellent.
P&P preview and predictions.
Teams out. We are playing. It's ye old England, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Nick, you're in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Carter's in.
Yep.
Wiggy, you are not available.
No.
Okay, lovely. Let's do some quick predictions. Top.
Sorry. I did speak to Dodge earlier, and he did say the last game this week here. I was like, yes, mate. Is Philip playing? I went, I don't think so. I'll look at the thing, and he went, why not? I went, probably busy, mate. Just busy. he'll be there for 39 overs, but
Why not? No
He'll do
one
the
knows.
bar. He'll do the bar.
Absolutely no idea, Dodge.
I quite enjoyed doing the bar that night, actually.
It's not just that night. It's about 3 nights this season that you've turned up to do the bar when you haven't been available.
Yeah. I quite like it.
Lovely. Okay, so DC, top run scorer.
top run scorer is your friend and mine, Ewan McDermott.
Love it. Samsung.
Hold on, let's get the team up.
Limo.
Walters, P. Shroom, Glove.
Lovely. I'm going to go for B. Pooley, carrying on his rich vein of form.
I'll go Massey.
Massey. Lovely. Okay. Most wickets. Philip.
I'll say McDermott.
Nice. He's been slow with the bowling, the wickets this season. I will go for D House. Harding.
Chapman, M.
DC.
I do like we're all having 2 overs each most games now, which really makes us a proper club, I think. Well, it makes us more of a social club than so I'm going for CEO.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah,
The
I think I
shuffle,
would
the quick feet shuffle.
Yeah. The bloke on Thursday turned around and said, you'll really do my head in by shuffling before you bowl.
I love the shuffle. I really enjoy it.
The old QFS. Any more before we wrap up?
I'm all good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much for watching and listening to the ThighPad podcast. Thank you from me. Thank you from Nick. Thank you from Samsung. And thank you from DC. Different to me. Yeah, it looks different to me.
Fucking hell, Mo can't, mate. For fuck's sake.